What's up, guys? Ace here, bring guys a Sword Art Online Season 3, Episode 18 preview discussion, Memories. Guys, I haven't seen last episode. Make sure to check it out. It was pretty mediocre, I want to say the most. A lot of it seemed like it was just delaying the inevitable, sort of just capitalizing on the, not nostalgia, I forget the word I want to say, but lack of better terms, so just capitalizing on the suspense, I guess. I guess that is the word to say here. Basically, it just sort of led up to the fact that we have Higa, and he's right there on the brink, the very tip of waking Kirito up. And we don't quite know if Kirito's gonna wake up yet. It seems like it. Will he wake up next episode? I'm guessing not. And the reason being, the episode said memories. Ugh. Guys, it said memories. Okay, we're in the midst of battle, war, bloodshed. Freaking Leafa had a freaking spear go through her eye. And the title of it was memories. Is it just me? Like, there's no way this could, okay. Eventually it could segue. Like, I'm thinking at the end of the episode it'll segue into Kirito waking up. And then the episode after that, perhaps Kirito will wake up. But before that, it's like, it's gonna be like fillers. Fillers. Whew, I don't know about next episode, boys. I mean, the preceding episode was kind of decent. Like, we got a few wins in the last episode, especially with Higa. And the freaking wrench that knocked the guy. Can we talk about that a little bit? Like, that was a little weird. Like, the wrench just happened. Like, the guy was, like, I guess in such a state, like a manic panic state, that, like, the smallest movement, especially in, like, the weird thing is, like, they're on this thing in the midst of an ocean, or some huge body of water, at least. And there's this huge drop down point that's just all the way down, it's just black, and a wrench comes down, hits it, guy, like, loses his footing, and it slips down. That's crazy. That's nutty. I know. You know what's cool, actually interesting about that is the fact that, like, that's the second. I want to say that's the second sort of Star Wars trope in this show. I'm not sure if it's Star Wars trope enough though, because I do remember in the Star Wars I forgot what movie it was, but basically the one where it said that they kind of like, Luke, I am your father, or I'm your father thing, right? Basically, when you look down, like, any of the shafts or anything, it's just dark all the way down. It's just, I mean, to be fair, like, you don't want to, like, I don't know, like, you need space to move around, and that's just a vertical movement space, right? So I can understand that, but I also sort of got that Star Wars feeling when I saw freaking Vecta's face get blasted by Sinan. So, anyways, yeah, the whole thing where he goes at the brink of saving Kirito, and everyone's getting lit. Like, everyone's lit for Kirito. They're like, there's like a little shine. And even Yugo, like, he's in his sword, but like, you see his reflection in the sword, and that's just sort of I guess a personification of him in that moment. Like, he's still part of the sword, which is also weird, because, like, does this mean Yugo's gonna come back? Like, will he be able to transform? We haven't seen anything like that yet, have we? Okay, we have. We have seen this. We have seen this with... Now, this might be different from the transformation that Alice's sword goes through when she turns her swords into flower petals. But, I mean, is that a possibility? I don't think so, but, like, I think it's there. Like I think we have the technology for that. We have the technology for that. But, yeah, so, like, everyone's body lights up in the last episode, and we see Kirito in a classroom. And it seems like he's in a dream. And I don't think that means too much. I think what that is trying to tell is that basically, while it looks like Kirito is just, like, sort of in a vegetative state, and he is, from his point of view, it's very much just like a flash of light, right? Like, when you're asleep, you don't really know you're asleep. I mean, you're not, like, experience anything, right? You go to sleep, and then the very next moment, you're awake. And I feel like this is what is trying to be represented by this sort of past representation memories. But however, while they are going to show, I guess, what exactly this title memory is going to mean, I think most of it is going to be like telling how Kirito got into this position. It's like, this is how I ended up here, sort of moment. And I'm fine with that. I think it's okay, although I'm not one to like too much filler in this sort of anime, especially because it's not like such a long ongoing anime. I feel like it really sort of dilutes the quality of the anime, especially for an anime that's like as high quality where like you expect a lot of the things to be non-filler. Maybe that's just me. I'm a normie speaking here. So it's whatever. Like I think eventually we're just gonna talk about how Kirito got up here, and then we'll at the end of the anime get into some actual interesting / canonical stuff. But that doesn't mean too much, right? The name of the series, because looking at this one, while Prince of Hell is not really too ambiguous, like we kind of understand where this is coming from. This is probably referencing Poe. Like we saw Poe, and he was like most of the hellish features we saw from him in the last episode was very much like the black aura he had from him. He had a freaking cleaver, just swaying around everywhere. He was like no care for Kirito. He was just like tossing him about everywhere, and like he had this dark black aura is causing havoc. This is very much like a devilish feature, and that's sort of what I get from the title. Like that's what the title is sort of. That's the title drop. For those who don't know what the title drop is, it's when they say or do the thing that pertains to the title. That's the Prince of Hell right there. He had this huge like demonic aura, it had eyes in it, and like that was the Prince of Hell. Now I thought this could have meant Vecta, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Most of the show was about Poe. So and that was like 5. That's more like 5 minutes, like 10 minutes. I want to say worth of the episode. So if we're sort of gonna sort of like transpose this idea to the next episode, I'm gonna have to say like, ooh, I'm thinking it's gonna be a 15-minute one. 15 minutes of him like in memories thinking about things, and that's gonna be weird too, because I don't know what this means in context of the overall thing. Like I know Higa's gonna like do his thing, put in the code to wake up Kirito, like whatever the code would be, like it's like a command wake Kirito or something like that, right? But like, you know, that'll be instantaneously, but like we're gonna go through Kirito's things and stuff, like we're gonna go through his memories and how we got to the situation. But gosh, I kind of lost point of where I was going here. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I don't know how long it'll take for us to get to that situation in time. Like we're gonna be like, this is sort of gonna be like the next episode is gonna be like a meta episode where like we're gonna get inside Kirito's brain, and at the last bit we're gonna see Kirito wake up. And I have to say, like, this show has definitely been interesting, seeing how the main character for like 3 seasons, is it 3 seasons or 4 seasons? I'm gonna say 4 seasons to be safe. But 3 seasons we've had a show. I think this is my first show that didn't have a character eventually, the main character eventually become not a main character, and that's interesting, because like it's really on a suspense of like you're really watching. I feel at this point to see when Kirito will wake up. Like the whole story's about him, right? I think this could be changed a little bit. Like I think if they hedged a little more on like Alice a little more, then it wouldn't mind Kirito too much. But right now it seems like everyone in the dire points of combat and the war, everyone's like, oh, Kirito, like Kirito saved Sinin. Lifa just thinking about Kirito. Alice is going to Kirito. Asuna is thinking about Kirito. Everyone's thinking about Kirito, right? But like no one's thinking for themselves. So it's like it's very much weird because it's like everyone depends on Kirito, but he's still in like this comatose state. And I don't know. I feel like if they drove the tension away from Kirito, we wouldn't be in the situation where like it feels like a chore to watch Sword Art Online at the moment, because Kirito's just asleep and everyone wants him, and he's just asleep in a vegetative state. But yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking about the next episode. It's probably just going to be a recap episode for the most part. Maybe like a 75-25 split where most of it is going to be recap. But I don't think we're going to get anything new information from that. And I'm wondering if Kirito is going to awaken any like godlike powers. He's in the same account, so I'm not sure if I'm going to expect anything different. I don't know if I'm going to expect anything different. I would like to think so. Oh, I don't know, because he doesn't have any, like, he didn't gain anything from being asleep. He's been asleep all this time while everyone else has been like battling and gaining experience from battle and stuff like that. Kirito's been asleep. But the thing is, with him being asleep, I can see why it might be helpful to wake him up, because he's such a strong figure. He beat the administrator, like that's a feat on its own. And defeated many of the knights before the administrator. He also hasn't used a lot of his resources. Like, I'm not sure if they use like mana in this world or anything like that, but he hasn't used any of his resources. He's not out of breath. He's not exhausted from war or anything like that. So he's very much like a breath of fresh air for these new people. Not new, but for the good team, the good side, right? So that'll be cool. But yeah, I'm definitely not expecting Kirito to wake up until the end of next episode. But as of course, tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Tell me what you think about this episode. I really feel like this could have been pointed in a different direction in regards to the way the last few episodes, or I guess this sort of arc has been going. It's like, I don't know. I think it could have been a little different, and then we would have like the same sort of online experience. But I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Also about this episode. Other than that, we will see you guys later, and deuces.